Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. BSMNT Talk himself, and I got my guy here with me, Boogie Boy Roy, and we have a special guest today, man, Dr. Smith. You know, he needs an extensive introduction that I don't even know if I'm capable of doing.
This man is a brilliant man. He's a doctor. You know, he's somebody that comes out and he gives lectures at different institutes all over the world. He loves children. He studies the brain. He studies different kind of diseases that are out here. He's going to tell you what's wrong with the diseases. COVID-19, SARS, whatever you may think of. He may have some information on how you can heal yourself with some things. We'll see what he want to give up. But this is one of the people that deserve all the applause in the world.
Well, thank you.
See, that was good.
Yeah.
You like that?
That's why you brought him around.
He said, yeah, that's good. Yo, so tell us about the International Center for Nutritional Research.
Okay, thought you'd never
Thank you,
ask.
my brother.
Well, in 1981, in 1981, I incorporated the ICNR, International Center for Nutritional Research, as a vehicle to educate the masses on health issues. It's all free. You know, I was probably one of the first medical oriented websites out on the internet back in '81. And I just kept compiling articles on health. And I also started case studies. So I would take these difficult cases that traditional medicine couldn't handle. You know, give you an example. Like 13 years ago, I had a fellow who owned a junkyard out in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. They wanted to do a liver transplant on him. He said, thanks, but no thanks. So for 27 years, Fred had a swollen liver. All the gold standard medical tests, MRIs, whatever, diagnostic tests that they used, they could not figure out why his liver was swollen for 27 years. And the best solution they had for him, well, we'll cut out your liver and give you someone else's liver. He said, I don't like that idea. So his wife brought Fred over to me, like I said, 13 years ago. And I use energetic testing, which is probably 25 to 50 years ahead of what traditional medicine is doing. They don't even know that they don't know. And I wrote a book, if you can get me the copy of the orange book, back in 2019, thank you, I wrote a book called Remove the Splinters and Watch the Body Heal. And basically, my whole focus is you have to define the root cause of the problem instead of just treating the symptom. So, making a long story short, I diagnosed that he had benzene because he owned a junkyard and he used to wash the grease off his hands with gasoline, which was benzene. And it got absorbed into his system, and your liver is your main filter in the whole body. Your blood of your entire body goes through your liver every 3 minutes. So the filter got congested with benzene. Then he contracted hepatitis B, a virus. That was also trapped in his liver. So he had what I call 2 splinters, or initiators. And they were the root cause of why his liver was swollen for 27 years. I put him on a nutritional program to remove those 2 splinters. In 7 months, August, his blood values, 100% normal, all his symptoms totally disappeared, and for 13 years, every 6 months, his blood tests showed normal alkaline phosphatase, which is indicative of your liver function, is normal. But the irony of the whole thing is the insurance company says, well, we can't insure you because you have a liver problem. But all his blood tests are showing 180 degrees different, that his liver's normal. So it just shows you how backward the medical establishment is. And here we averted a liver transplant with natural medicine, nothing invasive, in 7 months. And Fred comes in every once in a while, and he's healthy. He has no problems, and he's got a quality of life. So these are the type cases that I put up on ICNR under case studies to educate people that there are answers to these, cases that traditional medicine don't know how to handle.
Wow. But before we go farther, I just want to highlight this book again one more time. Can you tell us where can we get this book from, your book from? And
Yeah, well, basically, we have a new website, and I apologize. I have to give you the new website for this.
Is it
My agent.
GHS doc?
Yeah, where the heck is it? Books?
Doc Live.
Okay, here. Yeah, so basically, it's called books, BOOKS by, /reality hyphen books. So it's books.by /reality hyphen books. And I've written 9 books, but there's 4 of them up there. This one, Remove the Splinters and Watch the Body Heal, and Cancer Deconstructed, which is the other book we have up here. Yeah, this is very, very powerful. Cancer Deconstructed. We also have a 10-part docuseries on ICNR. It's free, okay? And it discusses the different chapters of the book. We've interviewed cancer patients that we've cured with natural medicine. Though, just give you a quick example. We had a woman, I think it was about in 2017, she had lung cancer. And they cut the tip of her right lung off where the cancer was. Well, 6 months later, August, the cancer popped up in the left lung. The patient said, I'd rather die than go through that surgery again. It was so painful, the recovery and all. So what I did is really simple. I had her name was Carol Kessler. I said, Carol, get the pathology slides of your cancer tissue. It's too simple. And I energetically tested the actual cancer tissue in the pathological slide. She had cytomegalovirus in the cancer tissue, mercury, and a pesticide. The cytomegalovirus was coming from a root canal tooth on the lower left side, first molar. She had a root canal. Root canals, dentists are one of the biggest terrorist group on this planet, people.
We getting
Trust
deep.
me.
We getting deep, y'all.
Yeah, we're getting deep
Listen.
now. We're gonna have the black helicopters
Please
over there.
listen.
But I don't
No,
care.
no.
The key is, she complained to her family dentist for years that the tooth never felt normal. He said, oh, the x-rays look fine. Energetically, she had the virus in the tooth, and it was spilling over into the lymphatic system, and it was down in her lung. So I literally extracted that tooth, put ozone in the jawbone, homeopathics, colloidal silver, and we got rid of the infection, put her on vitamins for the mercury and the pesticide. 6 months later, cancer disappeared in the left lung.
So I was just at the dentist and I was telling the dentist that I don't want to get another root canal. I've had root canals done, but I was like, I'm not getting no more root canals.
Good for you.
Just because of the algorithm, I would say, because of what I've been seeing on Instagram. I'm like, I'm not getting no more root canals. She was like, nah, don't pay any attention to the internet. All of that stuff isn't true. But that was our conversation. So why shouldn't you get a root canal?
Well, for the same reason you don't want to stick your hand in what you call incinerator or a sinkerator.
I got you. You don't want
It's going to lop it off.
Yeah.
What the dentist, okay, let me backtrack. There was a fantastic researcher by name of Weston Price back in the early 1900s. He did a root canal on a 16-year-old son. A week later, his son died, 16 years old. And what he discovered was that he had endocarditis, inflammation of the heart. He extracted the tooth from his son's mouth that he did the root canal on. And he put the tooth under the healthy skin of 200 consecutive healthy rabbits. Every one of those rabbits came down with endocarditis. Now, if you don't call that conclusive research, I don't know what the heck is. But he proved unequivocally that the infection from the tooth caused his son's death.
Wow.
And he proved it. And the American Medical Association and the Endodontic Association have absolutely no scientific proof that root canals are safe. So, excuse me, when you take the nerve out of a tooth, it becomes dead, and it sucks toxins back into the tooth. And when the nerve dies, it creates hydrogen sulfide, which is more toxic than cyanide. You get thioethers, which are also toxic chemicals that are produced from the dying nerve, okay? And mercaptan, which is another toxic chemical. They get into the lymphatic system, and they've done studies. 93% of women with breast cancer that invariably have a root canal on the same side and is being fed by the toxins from the root canal, because the breast has an extensive lymphatic system and it concentrates the poisons in there, and you get cancer. Wow. So other than that, root canals are safe if you put them in robots.
Well, I got questions here because I'm looking at this
Sure.
the book that you got here, Cancer Destructed. What is it? Deconstructed. Now I see some fruits and I see some what's that?
Vegetables?
Some vegetables on the page, whatever. So my question to you is, do you think what we're eating is causing cancer?
Does the sun rise?
The sun does rise. No, it's there.
Here's the problem. Cancer is not a disease. It is disinformation that the American Cancer Society is putting out, your oncologist is putting out, your family doctor is putting out, all your so-called cancer support groups are putting out. It's not a disease. It is an adaptation of hypoxia, which is low oxygen, and toxicity. How do we know this? In 1931, Otto Warburg, okay, let me backtrack. Hitler did one good thing. People never knew this.
Oh man,
His
he
mother
getting us in
di-
trouble now.
No,
let me
I'm on the side. Let it go. Let it cook.
Don't lean too back too far. You gonna get out of
I
here.
got to hear this.
So the key
All right,
is,
tell me this.
Hitler's mother died of breast cancer, and he was paranoid about getting cancer. When he got into power in 1933, he hired the brightest scientists in Germany to find the answer for cancer. Otto Warburg was one of these scientists. Otto Warburg won a Nobel Prize. Now, you don't get that for bullshitting.
Yeah.
You get it for hardcore science, documentation. He discovered that when the oxygen level drops down by 35%, you get anoxia or low oxygen or hypoxia. The cells, in order to survive, turn to cancer to adapt to the low oxygen. And when he raised the oxygen level of the cancer tissue, the cancers disappeared. He won a Nobel Prize in physiology. He was one of the brightest guys in the world at the time. So that's why I said Hitler did one good thing. And it holds true today as it did in 1931. When you eat processed foods, you're not getting any biophotons. Biophotons are packets of energy that the sun emits and is stored in living food. When you microwave it or cook it, you're destroying the biophotons. That's why, whenever possible, you want to try to eat raw foods to get the biophotons, the packets of energy, to heal the body. When you eat chemicalized foods, preservatives, they make you acidic. So when your pH gets below 6.5, your oxygen level is dramatically dropped. Exactly. When you eat adulterated omega-6 oils, which are present on your shelves in your supermarket, your canola oil, your safflower, sunflower oil, walnut oil, avocado oil, they're adulterated. Now, what does that mean? They're altered chemically so they can sit on the shelf for 6 months and not go rancid. So what happens is when you ingest these adulterated oils, it literally turns your cell membrane into plastic. Not like Tupperware plastic, but a plastic consistency. Well, what's the significance of that? It's real simple.
Blockages.
The
There
oxygen
you go.
can't get inside the cell, and you get hypoxia, and you develop cancer.
Ooh. Oh man.
See, the answers are all there, and it's basic. So when you get too acidic, you got chemicals which lower your vibratory rate, you have no biophotons, your body can't heal itself. And then we're surrounded by EMFs we got over 7,500 satellites circling our planet, and we're getting irradiated with EMFs. Your cell phones are EMFs, your computers, EMFs, everything's EMFs. And the bottom line is, it's disrupting your frequency pattern of your organs. Plus, you're drinking water that has homeopathic doses of drugs in it. How do I know? Because they've analyzed public water supply. So if you're urinating blood pressure medication or you're urinating chemotherapeutic agents, it's in a homeopathic dilution in the water, and you're drinking the poison. And that stuff gets trapped in your body.
Get trapped in your body. That's why your kidneys can't filter, and sometimes you get foamy pee.
Yeah.
What do you do if your pee is foamy?
If you're what?
Your pee, you have foamy pee.
Well, you're not
Urine.
digesting your fats properly.
Yeah.
So the key is, see, if you eat raw foods, it has the exact proportion of enzymes to digest the protein, the protease, the amylase for starch, and the sugars, the cellulase for your cellulose, the fiber. And that's what it's all about. When you cook the food, the enzymes are one of the first to get destroyed, so you can't properly digest it. So that's where you get the foam. And that's the problem. So my advice is, you really have to take enzymes, plant enzymes, to supplement with your food so you can break down the food properly and get good digestion and absorption.
Like an actual pill, enzyme pill?
Yeah.
Or get it out of the vegetables as well?
Well, here's the problem. If they're growing the food in South America or California or Florida, you're getting it 2 weeks late. So the food is dying from the time that they harvest. The other major problem is they're spraying over 300 tons of glyphosate a year just in the United States. Glyphosate is an herbicide, and it's poisonous. It causes cancer. It's all documented. It causes leaky gut, leaky brain. It's a hormone disruptor. So, you're getting all these poisons plus dead food. You're a walking time bomb.
Is that like what we know as pesticides, almost like the pesticides that they trying to get rid of the bugs and everything they spraying on our vegetables? I know my cousin, he said one thing to me, his name is Shavoy. He said, if you don't eat from the farm, then you go to the pharmacy. Yeah, so he's basically saying if you don't eat the vegetables, but I think that because we live in this world today, we find that the market so it's easier to go to the market and it's harder to farm. We got this thing when I like search social media, I see the thing where it says that we have too many people, and that's why it's too many people, so we don't have enough food to give out to people.
That's a big lie, that we have too many people.
Yeah.
That's an excuse because they want to control the population. But what's interesting, back in 1946, they used to teach a course in elementary school called etymology, word derivation.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, well, because in 1946, they took it out of the curriculum worldwide. All of a sudden, worldwide, no more etymology. The derivation of the word pharmacy, you know what it is? Sorcery. That's the derivation of pharmacy. It's sorcery.
I heard that before. I did hear that before.
Yeah, so the key,
Online.
the key is they were giving you poisonous elixirs. That's what it's all about. That's why they didn't want the people to learn the word derivation, because they would understand, and when you say, I understand, you're subverting yourself to the system. So words are very, very powerful.
Metaphors are very powerful. That's
Yeah, it is. We should jump into COVID-19.
Sure.
One of the reasons why I was like, yo, could you come on a podcast? You was like, yeah, that'll be great. And you were talking about detoxing the body from COVID-19. If you took the actual vaccine, detoxing the body, if you took the vaccine. Can we dive into that? Maybe some of
Sure.
the ways we can
Detox.
take care of that and
Well,
detox?
Just let me give a little bit of background in there. Anthony Fauci is like one of the biggest criminals on the planet. He diverted taxpayers' money, funds, to Wuhan to develop gain of function, where they took the virus out of a bat and they genetically altered it to be 10,000 times more potent than the actual virus that was in the bat. So they created this thing. This was man-made. It didn't come out of the heavens or a natural process that spread around the world. This was man-made. They got the documentation. There's no wiggle room here. There's no gray area. So I wanted you to understand the source of the COVID. It didn't come out of the heavens and attack us. So the key in the equation is that one of the reasons why they did it is they wanted to control the world population and sequestered you into your house so it can control you and thin out the herd. And they wanted to disrupt the whole political system so that they can create the one world order. This is, you may say it's conspiracy theory. This is conspiracy fact, absolute 100% fact. So to get back to the original question here is about the COVID vaccines. One of the contaminants in there is spike protein. It is a bioweapon. By what do I mean by a bioweapon? The spike protein, when it circulates through your vascular system, tears like razor blades, tears the intimate, the inner lining, and it's also creating blood clots. So when these athletes were running down the gridiron,
Yep.
they were dropping dead because all of a sudden their blood clotted up and their hearts, boom, stopped, and they dropped dead, whether it be basketball court, tennis court, whatever. So the spike protein was a major factor in causing blood clotting, and that's what killed a lot of people. The COVID incident is responsible for 20 million deaths worldwide, 20 million deaths worldwide. In addition, they estimate that the damage that the COVID pandemic, not epidemic, but pandemic, caused $25 trillion worth of damage. These are big numbers, and these are true. And usually it's probably a lot worse, but it's getting the message across. So the key in the equation, you not only had the spike protein creating blood clotting, you had other components like polyethylene glycol, which is like, antifreeze. Antifreeze. That's creating a reaction, an allergic reaction in the body, which was damaging hearts by causing cardiomyocytes, inflammation of the heart, and pericarditis, which is inflammation of the sac around the heart. So, in fact, one of the students here was referred to me from the Institute because he was working in Wall Street, and they said, if you don't get the vaccine, you're fired. He's a young guy, probably in his early 30s. He got the vaccine, then he developed pain in his heart and palpitations in the heart. The neurologist couldn't figure it out. When I energetically tested him, the vaccine was trapped in his heart, the spike protein was in his heart, and we put him on, because you said, well, how can we counteract it? NAC, N-acetylcysteine, but we use a special formula from Switzerland. It's called augmented NAC. And glutathione, very, very important because it's a chelating agent. It grabs onto things and pulls it out of the body. The vitamin C, but food-based vitamin C, not ascorbic acid. So you got zinc, which is also very important because your body cannot store zinc. You have to get it on a daily basis. So sardines are high in zinc. If you like to eat sardines, great. Your nuts have zinc in them. But the key is you have to do it on a daily basis, and certain things like quercetin, which is an anti-inflammatory, antibiotic type of nutrient, and it also increases your mitochondria in your cells, which increase your energy. That's okay. So basically, the quercetin acts as a diffuser, pushing the zinc into the cells, which kills the virus. So you need these specific nutrients like hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin, because they are way more powerful in driving the zinc into the cells, which then can kill the viruses in your cells. So vitamin C, vitamin D the vitamin D3 is not really a vitamin, it's a prohormone. Unfortunately, most of the vitamin D3 that you're buying in your health food store is a radiated lanolin, where they literally take a lanolin from sheep, the wool, and they x-ray it, and it converts it from D2 to D3. Now, the company that we use, it's called Premier Research, they derive their D2 from mushrooms. And by exposing the mushroom to sunlight, it converts it from D2 to D3, way more physiologically active than what you're buying in the health food store. So you really got to be careful on the quality of the nutrients that you're using.
Where can we get this stuff from? Because, to be honest, like, I truly feel like I had the COVID shot, right? And you said the young man that's having the heart palpitations
Yeah.
and things of that nature, I have those same symptoms. I've been to my cardiologist and everything.
They
It's
don't
like
know.
ever since I've had the COVID-19 shot, I've been feeling not like myself. I haven't feeling like, oh, what's going on with my heart? I go to the doctors. They do that. They can't find it. They don't see anything.
Yeah.
So
Well-
how can I got to talk to you after this.
Sure. But the key in the equation is that the actual vaccine itself, whether it be Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, whatever, that component can also get trapped in your heart too.
Okay.
So Samuel Hahnemann was the father of homeopathy. He came up with the concept that like cures like. So for example, if you contract poison ivy after working in your garden, if you take a diluted form of poison ivy in a homeopathic dose, it counteracts it and will resolve it. So there is a compound called a no-sode. A no-sode is a homeopathic remedy made from the actual substance. So there's special laboratories that we use, we buy their products, that will take the AstraZeneca or the Pfizer vaccine and make a homeopathic dose of it. So when you take it, it'll neutralize that poison in your heart or anywhere else in your body. So once we diagnose if you have the vaccine, J&J or whatever, trapped in your heart, we prescribe a homeopathic no-sode to neutralize it. Then we use the glutathione and the NNAC to get rid of the polyethylene glycol, any fetal tissue that they also put into there. Sometimes there's polysorbital 80, sometimes there's aluminum as a preservative, which is a neurotoxin and will destroy your nerves. Ethyl mercury, which is a cheap preservative, it's also a neurotoxin. It's called the thimerosal. So we define what's trapped in your heart causing your symptom and then prescribe the appropriate nutrients to cleanse your heart
How long
and
does
get
this
rid of
process
some.
take?
Well, like anything else, everyone's a chemical individual, energetic individual, and it depends on the concentration of the poisons. So if you had one vaccination, did you have any boosters?
No.
Good.
I had the 2 shots that were like,
2 shots?
yeah, that was the one.
So it may take 6 to 9 months to remove these toxins from your heart. But the key is drugs are not going to do it.
Nope.
And they're not even one to admit that, look, they knew damn well the side effects of the vaccine before they rolled it out. Why do you think they trashed hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin? Because if there was natural remedies for COVID, the FDA would not approve these experimental vaccines to be rolled out. That's why they trashed it.
It was a money play.
Money play and thin the herd and control the masses.
So why do you think that they blame China for the COVID-19
Well,
in the United States? I guess.
If you're a socialist or communist, you always got to blame somebody for your hardship.
Yeah, I guess so.
The boogeyman. There's always got to be a boogeyman.
Yeah. But it did come from the Wuhan.
100%. And guess who funded it? American taxpayer dollars through Tony Fauci. He should be strung up. He is treasonous. He's the worst patriot in the world.
Now they have a new sickness out. Do you remember the name of it?
It begins with the Hanta.
The people that just got off
It comes
the boat.
from mice droppings. The Hanta virus.
Hunter virus.
Hanta virus.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What is your thoughts on the hantavirus?
He's saying that that's going to be the new pandemic.
Well, see, they're creating, they're enhancing genetically by function, gain of function. So there's always got to be a fear factor, because when you're under a state of fear, the blood from your frontal part of the brain gets shunted to the back, and it's easier to control you with words because you can't think straight. This is God's honest truth.
I always say this. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. That fear, I mean, that it shocks your body, it shocks your brain. It's easy to control people through fear. It's easy to make people do what you want them to do. If you take one person, you shoot them in front of you, the rest of the people is going to get in line.
That's right. Very quickly.
Very quickly.
Well, I mean, just look at you. See, I stopped listening to the ABC News, the CNN, the Fox. To me, it's all propaganda. And it's all, if you listen to them, their narratives are all the same, because it's the CIA that's feeding them what to propagandize the population with. So you'll have an airplane crash one week, you'll have a car bombing another week, you'll have a school shooting another week, constant fear-mongering. You know, food shortages, inflation. This is all designed to keep the level of fear high so they can control you.
Even coming from our neighborhoods, in our neighborhoods is you're going to get robbed, so you need a gun. So what everybody do? Everybody go gets a gun. What do they do when they get a gun? Now it's no longer the fear of getting robbed, it's the fear of somebody hurting you or aggression. And then somebody shoots somebody, not even the robbery thing is out the window. It's just I'm aggressive and I'm mad, and guess what? I don't have this, I don't have that, boom, you're gone. And it's just a constant cycle.
Well, yeah, you have to understand, whatever the establishment does, it's for their greater good. So they always orchestrate a scenario. So basically, they opened up the borders, they got all these illegals in the country to change the demographics so that they can cheat at the polls. Now, if you and I went to France or England or Mexico, we couldn't vote, right? Because we're not a citizen. But all of a sudden, letting all these illegals and crazies and criminals in, they have the right to vote. I mean, there's a disconnect here.
There's a disconnect. There's definitely a disconnect.
So what's your prediction on what's going on right now? You know, we could dive in a little bit of politics, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think my prediction is we have to hit rock bottom, and then you become religious.
Yeah.
And you become spiritual. And that's what's going to turn around this chaos in this country, because we've lost our moral compass. When people don't treat each other morally and ethically, then you create chaos. When people get back on track and you do random acts of kindness and you're trying to help people, get a better quality of life, the whole trend of society changes. In Russia, in the 1920s, the church bells gave off a frequency that literally calmed down all the village people. And they were all, complacent, they were communicative, no arguments. But that's why they took the bells out of the churches, because they were keeping the people in a state of health because of the frequency of the actual bells. The same thing when they changed the music back in the 30s. See, when they tuned the piano, it was 432 hertz. And they tuned the music, the instruments, okay, which was higher quality at a lower volume. Back in the,
Music
by the end of
definitely
the
controls
30s,
the frequency.
they changed the tuning to 440, which meant that to get the same quality, you had to raise the volume. Hitler knew that. 440 has been documented to agitate your nervous system. So when Hitler would have these night harangues and about being suppressed and the hard times, everything was broadcast in 440 to keep the population agitated, to be primed for war.
This is deep.
That's right.
It's the truth.
That's right.
I literally,
It is the truth.
It's crazy,
If
man.
you go ahead and you put on some crazy music, you tended to act crazy. If you put on some mellow music, it usually softens your body and you get relaxed. Music does change the way that we act.
You can see how hip hop,
Yeah.
music affected the communities.
Yeah.
It played a big part, and they changed the
It's the frequencies, it's your
And
notes, it's your drums. If
Exactly.
you listen to a bird chirp in the morning, you're more relaxed. You're more relaxed. But then if you hear, it's going to bring you into an uproar. You're like, oh, what's going on? I mean, your first initial, your reaction is going to go crazy.
It's the way it makes you feel.
Even the notes in our own voice, as far as somebody having a yelling versus somebody talking in a soft tone, that's still frequency. If somebody yell, then it's going to make you like, it's
Your
going
energy.
to change your energy, it's going to change your molecules in your body, and it makes you more, what's going on? It's either going to make you frightened or it's going to make you more aggressive. If somebody have a softer tone, then you're going to be more reluctant to listen to what somebody has to say versus them yelling. So when I yell at you, you really don't hear what they say. All you hear is, that's all you hear.
Well, it's interesting. You brought up an interesting point about frequency. And I gave a lot of thought to this. Why people accept lies. And it's real simple. When you're fed processed foods, when your body is suppressed with EMFs from the environment, when you're negative mentally, the frequency at which your body vibrates is low. See, normal, back in 1992, Bruce Tainio developed a machine that literally could read the frequency of your specific organs. And what he found is that the body normally would vibrate between 68 megahertz and I think 78 megahertz. And when you start eating processed foods, chemicalized foods, and your frequency got down to around 58, you start to get colds and flu.
Yeah.
So the key is when your body's vibrating at a low frequency and someone tells you a lie is vibrating at a lower frequency, and the population who's already vibrating at a lower frequency can accept it. However, if you then now tell them the truth, when you say something truthful, it's vibrating at a higher frequency and it irritates their system. That's why they can't accept it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, yo, that is very true.
So, it reminds me of the joke, the guy bought a used car, 2 weeks later, he was having so many problems with it. He drove up to the used car lot again. He saw the guy talking to a customer, and he drives up to him. He rolls down his window. He says, "Pardon me, weren't you the guy that sold me this car 2 weeks ago?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "Can you do me a favor? Can you please tell me all the good parts about it again?"
I'm reading this book right now. It's called Man Talk. I haven't finished it yet. But in the beginning, I think it's like the first chapter, he talk about how all men are liars. All men are liars by nature.
Well, I think all humans are liars by nature.
But the man, like based upon the Bible and the biblical sense. You know?
Now, is that due to conditioning?
I mean, Adam lied to God, right?
About Eve.
Yeah, Eve didn't tell him to eat the apple, did she?
She brought it to him.
But did she tell him to eat it?
She brought it to him.
So he lied.
I wasn't there.
So I'm saying this to say, it's a possibility that the
See,
point.
in my neck of the woods, it says, there's an old saying, "It's not my monkeys, it's not my circus."
So what I will say.
The point I was trying to make was that men,
He blamed her though.
yeah, we kind of like, yeah, he lied and didn't
lied.
take ownership.
He didn't take ownership.
And we are struggling.
Well, between
Period, men. We got a lot on us.
Well,
So our frequency is like.
Yeah, well, there's a big battle going on now between Satan and good, bad and good.
Come on.
This is a battle. I mean, these deep staters are satanic.
Yeah.
They are sociopaths of the worst kind, and the stuff that they've done to the world population is out of control.
Well, the secret weapon of Satan is confusion. If I could confuse you, then I
Well,
have.
why do you think they tore down the statues, changed the names of universities?
Oh, yeah.
Wokeism is to create chaos.
Yo, that's
Chaos.
another way there.
Separation.
That's right.
It's separation, chaos, confusion. There's a couple of those words in there that.
And pronouns, give me a break.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and the people, it's
He
easy
trying
to
to get
lead
us in
them.
trouble.
He's
He's trying to get us in trouble. He like
just speaking his truth, man. He
That's
gotta
what
speak
telling
his
like
truth.
it is. See, I believe,
Remember,
I believe the church of what's happening now, baby. The church of what's happening now.
I know that. Right? Yeah.
Just-
One of the things that you and I talked about right over there, I was saying the thing that's most important is right now, people put too much into material things. They put too much into money and too much into tomorrow. Because today is what's important. Like us enjoying this conversation means a lot to me. Us having people that care about us and love us, what I'm saying? True connections with people is what's more important. And I think that's what's missing from the world because we're so connected through phones, right? But we're so disconnected because we're so
Isolated.
into the phone.
We're isolated.
Yeah, we're isolated, yo.
Exactly. And it's just like we're living in a different time right now, man.
Well, things are changing because the only people that are going to survive these hard times are going to be people who are spiritual, that have their moral compass, that are trying to do good for society. The fraudsters, they're going to fall by the wayside because people are going to discover that they're, not honest people. They're not going to stop doing business with them.
Yeah. It's getting there. A lot of people are waking up, and a lot of people are seeing things for what they are. And that's just because, like he said, we're starting to reach rock bottom. And when you reach rock bottom, you become spiritual. And when you become spiritual, you start to understand that human connection is more important than almost anything in the world. And by doing goodly deeds, as he mentioned early, is the way of that we all need to be. Get out, buy somebody a coffee, whatever you want to do. It only take a little bit.
Not coffee. That spike your blood pressure.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
well, get him an apple.
Share
Buy him
your
an
spike
apple.
protein with them.
Buy
Share
somebody-
your
yeah. Share your protein with him.
That's right.
Share my spike protein.
Get him an apple or orange.
But you're right, man.
But we're in the a watershed mark. People are going to look back at 2026 and say that, America, society did the right thing. So as much as people hate Trump, with the Trump derangement syndrome, they don't see the 40,000-foot global picture that he's revamping global economy, reestablishing freedoms for people. He's giving back the people in Venezuela the chance to take their government back. Same thing in Iran. And he's doing the same thing in Cuba. All these oppressed countries are being given, and in England, the people are pissed off about the establishment with, because they're sick and tired of these tyrants controlling them. So he's giving them an opportunity to overthrow the treachery. These people are unbelievable. The volume of money being stolen from the people is like crazy. But so that's why I say 2026 is going to go down in history as the turning point where the United States, America, started to see sunshine again. We're going to have the golden age restored.
I hope
really
so,
believe
man.
that.
I hope so, because I hope my viewpoints are changed. I hope he can change my perspective on him.
Well,
know
you
what I'm
you change the world by changing one person at a time,
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
saying? Exactly.
And you change yourself, whatever you do internally, the frequencies are broadcast out into the universe. So did
Hmm.
you ever drive someplace and you visualize a parking space waiting for you?
Nah.
I do it all the time.
I do it.
I
You do that?
visualize a parking space waiting for me.
That's some cool
I'm
shit.
like,
right
I'm
there.
gonna find me a parking spot. Like we said, I'm like, I don't care what you say.
But
it's gonna be a parking
that's
spot.
cool though. I never thought to do that.
But you're literally setting the universe up to meet your needs. So the same thing applies with the mindset of the people. If you broadcast your internal positive affirmations that there's love in the community, that people really want to do the best that they can, and you broadcast this frequency, we're like a TV station. You're going to hit those receptors in the community that are going to absorb your frequency and make it happen. In fact, they did an experiment one weekend because, Chicago has like one of the highest crime records in the whole country. And they got a group of, I think, 7 people together, and they concentrated their positive affirmations about the crime rate in Chicago. The statistics documented that the crime rate went dramatically down that weekend, that these 7 people were projecting the positive affirmations.
I believe that strongly.
Yeah, I
See,
believe
man,
that.
I really appreciate
Got
this
it.
conversation, man. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
I really appreciate this conversation, and I think that I think you should be like a staple on this joint, man. We got to do something like every couple months, man. We gotta
Recharge the batteries.
Recharge the
Seriously,
batteries.
I'm saying, like, I would love to have you back on here again.
Just
Have some
you let me know
conversations, man. Tell the people again where they can find the live stream on Thursday, and also
Yeah, if
hit
you
them
go-
hit them with the website.
Yeah, every Thursday night at 7 o'clock, I do a podcast called Dr. Smith Live. And you can get the link by going to ghsdoc.live. That's my initials, GHS, then doc.live. The link is always on there you have to register to get onto it doesn't cost you anything, it's free. But we have a different topic, and ghsdoc.live has all the archived Thursday night meetings on there. So it's like a library, it's all free. Many different topics we talk about, cancer, you name it, vertigo problems, every and anything. And so it's a great resource for information. If you want to gain information on articles and case studies, ICNR.com, International Center for Nutritional Research.com. We got over 200 case studies that cover from eczema, from psoriasis, from hypothyroidism, from you name it, Bell's palsy, the answers of how to resolve these medical issues. And it's all free. And we have the Cancer Deconstructive docuseries. We have another one called Energy Medicine docuseries. It's to enlighten you so that you don't get slaughtered when you go to the doctors. Basically why I did all this stuff.
Y'all hear that? I'm trying to help you guys out. Remember, like and share. There is somebody that's going to need to hear this information. You know, Basement Talk, you know, we're here with the doc. Please like and share his stuff as well. If you see everything that he said, if you feel like you didn't get it, just rewind it, slow it up, and you'll get all this information. Because he already said it. The good thing about YouTube and these places, Instagram, whatever, you can always go back and get the information.
Yeah, we're going to put the links in the bio as well. One more thing.
Sure.
Tell the people how you stay focused and grounded.
Great question. Number one, someone told me years ago, retirement is your reward for being unsuccessful in your life. Now, let's translate that. You gotta have a reason to get up in the morning. So, quote, when you retire, you've given up on life. So the key in life is you gotta have an objective. Why are you on this planet? You know, the two most important dates, the day you were born and the day you realized why the hell you're here.
Yo, that was the best one. You hit the best one.
I thought he was going to say the day he died right there.
And once you realize why you're here, you'll have no inability to stay motivated. See, my whole goal is to try to heal people, educate people, bring a better quality of life. And that's what keeps me, look, I'm 83 years old. I'm scheduled to do a bike ride in Portugal in July with my Qigong master. He's a few years younger than I. Yeah. And I feel like a 21-year-old.
That's what I'm
talking about.
You gotta have a reason why to get the hell up in the morning, whether it be volunteering your services to help needy people. I don't care what it is. You've gotta have a purpose, a positive purpose. Whether you're growing food and share it with people, volunteering with, you know, giving out free food and stuff like that. Whatever it is, you gotta have a purpose.
Yo,
you know,
man,
most
wealth
guys,
of knowledge.
most men die in 3 to 5 years when they retire because they don't have a purpose. They've lost their soul.
Always. Sit there, look at a TV, and be depressed, and start thinking about all the things that they couldn't have did when they still have time left.
Yeah. So y'all know what it is. It's the Basement Talk. Stay focused, stay grounded. I
appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
Well,
Amazing.
the key is we tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
And you don't have to remember what that.
Say that again, please, man. What you say?
The key
Basically, when you tell the truth, you don't have to remember what you said. So that's it.
Yes,
It's simple. It's simple.
Yeah.
That was